Good morning, I'm Jerry DeRoche. We're here for the third update of progress on the breeding center construction. The building itself is now weather tight. And by that I mean that the sheathing is on the outside, the roof is on, and the window and doors are in place. So now we're protected from all of the elements, which has been important given the amount of rain that we've had this July. What we're going to do now is we're going to move inside and we're going to take you through the first floor of the building. Most of the partitions are in place. There's no sheetrock in place yet, but the partitions are there and some of the cabling has already been done. So let's go in and see what it looks like. So we're standing in the lobby of the center, and to my right is the socialization and testing room. So it's a fairly large room where we expect that there'll be a lot of activity. So when we have puppies that we want to temperament test or that we want to make available for the public to see, this is the area where we'll do that and do some exercise. Here is the veterinary room for the breeding center side of the building. What we're going to do now is we're going to walk through the breeding center and then we'll come back and go through the nursery. This is the elevator shaft, which is scheduled to be put in place sometime towards the end of August. Over here is the main work area for this part of the building. And then back here is the shower rooms for the staff as well. And then we're making our way down to where the broods will be for breeding. And then just directly out behind is a run exercise area for the broods while they're here on campus. Now we're going to move over to the nursery side of the building. When it's all completed, this will be an area where we have the most secure part of the facility, as well as an area where we're very careful about contamination and making sure we keep a clean environment. So coming in here now, this is a changing area for the staff. And again, this is another view of the socialization room that we can use for testing as well as for any other activities, some exercise that we want the puppies to have. There's also an exercise area in the basement for the puppies as well. Special care area for any of the dogs that are in the nursery that need special attention, and going out that door is an exercise run area for them. Over here is the veterinary room for the nursery area of the building. We're going to walk down the hallway now and go towards the main part of the nursery. So over here is the work area within the nursery. So this is one of the larger areas in the nursery area. It's the work hub where the staff will do much of their day-to-day activities. And then here in the far corner is the delivery room. So the puppies will be whelped in this room and then transferred into the various whelping pods, which are over here. So this is a typical whelping pod where the mom and the pups will go. We have quite a few of them, largely because we expect that we're going to be growing the program and have a need for that. So the puppies will be in here for roughly 2 weeks until they become more mobile, until they become to wean themselves off of the mom, at which point they will transition down here to the transition room. So these pods are the transition pods. As you can see, they're also a little bit bigger. They're not floor to ceiling either, but this is where the puppies will be For the rest of the time they're here in the nursery before they're transported down to the main campus early learning center at about 8 weeks of age. So we have quite a few here, again, reflecting the size of the program that we're looking to build toward. What's going on here right now are the tradespeople that are putting in all the wiring for communications, for the doorways, for everything that involves wires that are going to be behind the sheetrock walls. So more than likely, in another few weeks, we expect that the walls will start to be sheetrock. We have insulation that has to go in a variety of different things. So we're expecting that towards the middle of August, we'll start to see that type of activity here. So as we're walking through the building, you probably noticed that there's a lot of metal studs here. And one of the reasons that we opted to put metal studs is they're not structural for the building, but it's also a way for us to be very conscious of our donors' funding of the building. Less expensive, gives us a little bit more flexibility given the price of lumber these days. So we're in the back of the building now, and we're looking at the run area for the puppies. And as you can see, it's well covered and shaded, and given their size and their age, it's the right thing to do for them in terms of the process. Over here is the run area for an exercise area for the moms. And then the special care unit has their run area just to the right of that doorway. Well, that concludes our tour for today. We were hopeful that we gave you a sense of how the building's coming along and a sense of how the inside of the building is going to be partitioned out between both the nursery and the breeding side. We're not going to be doing another video probably for, I would say, a month or so anyway. We want to be able to show you what it looks like with the walls in place. And we're expecting that should be available to us to show sometime in the September timeframe. So have an enjoyable rest of the summer, and we will talk to you soon.